Okay. It's the girls today, unless Tom decides to like swoop in at the last minute, but he's usually here by now. So I anticipate that it's just us. So give everybody a second or two to settle in and don't want to start too early. But we were just talking in the green room about Christmas lists, and I think that everybody is I think this weekend at the store is going to be absolutely insane because I just think that whenever Thanksgiving is late, it seems like that weekend before Christmas is bonkers because everybody all of a sudden will wake up Saturday and go, Christmas is Wednesday and freak out. So remember a couple things. Oh, look, speaking of the devil,
Yay. Welcome.
speaking of the devil,
Hello. Hello,
hello, Tom.
everyone.
I said, well, it's just us girls today. I said, I don't think Tom will be sneaking in this late,
I know I
but
lost track of time. Can I
but
tell
I'm
you?
glad you're here.
I'm happy to be here. I wouldn't no place I'd rather be than here.
I know on a Monday at 4. Where else are you gonna be? What else are you gonna do?
No.
We're talking about how crazy the store is gonna be this weekend because people are gonna wake
Oh
up
yeah.
Saturday and realize that it's like, oh, I didn't put the chat for everybody, Amanda. I
I
gotta do
just
that.
fixed it.
Oh, did you fix it for everybody? Okay, perfect. Because I forgot to do that. I think there's a way. Okay, this is what I need to tell everybody. So I figured out that I can extend this um, Zoom, this particular link. So you all are registered to watch this till June 30th of 2025.
Oh my God.
Decided I was going to only do it in 3 month increments, and I was like, I'm going to forget. So I put a note in my calendar, and I thought 6 month increments. And if we have to cancel one because of stuff happening and we're not here, we can let you know. But anyways, I thought that would be the easiest. So I figured that out. So
We're in for the duration now.
so we are in for till at least minimally until June 25th of 2025. And yes, thank you, Beth, for noticing that James, by the way, Beth, I mean, I'm sure you have a relationship with James because he is the one that packages up all your books that you so wonderfully buy from us. But James got one of the James Patterson
That's right.
yeah, so that was absolutely awesome. And it's just so, I mean, we love James Patterson for so many reasons, but that is one of those things that he does that is just for this particular industry. I don't know any other industry that you have somebody that is that philanthropic back. He's pretty amazing. It's pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
and
So,
that he's sustained it for many, many years.
many
I don't know
years.
how long, but
Yeah. It's your birthday, Beth? Happy birthday.
oh, another
Hey,
reason to be right here.
I know. And you're joining us on your birthday. I wish I had like a cake or something.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
no,
no.
June 25th. Oh, June 25th
Oh,
now. Okay.
we'll mark it in
Okay.
our calendars.
Well, we'll mark that. Don't hold your breath. I'm not the best at remembering my own birthday. Well, I remember my own, but it's birthday month at Julie's house. Anyways, all right, let's get going. It'll go Julia, Amanda, Tom. I really don't have anything to talk about because I'm reading a book that's not coming out until like May of next year. So there you go.
Let's,
You're no
can
help.
we can do Julia, Tom, and I. I know it's not right on the screen, but
Okay, you want to go last?
yeah.
Tom likes going last though.
Oh, well.
It's okay. No, it's
Yeah,
okay. I will defer
yeah.
to Amanda.
Okay, Tom likes
Okay, no,
going
no.
last.
Definitely y'all should have your preference.
Just
No.
saying. It's okay. So what are we doing? Are we
It's
going
mostly
Julia?
when it's Gabe that I want to be last.
Okay. All right.
Honestly. And
So we'll
I
go.
would say that to Gabe's face right here.
I know you would, yeah. And so okay, so I turned on the screen share. So Julia, Tom, Amanda. Okay, here's what I'll do.
Here, I'll do this.
No, I just did it.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh,
Now
there
I'll
we
Fancy.
remember.
Fancy,
Okay,
fancy.
look at what I know how to do.
go.
And I should get on the right screen on my computer. Okay. All right. Well, I did some fun ones this week. I sort of have been going back through some of my favorite books of the year to talk to you guys about because it's coming up on both Christmas and Hanukkah. and I know you guys probably have gifts to give, so I've been trying to be as helpful as possible. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Dolly Parton, All the Songs. I may have talked about this when it came out in September, but this is part of a series that we have going from Black Dog and Leventhal, which is one of our great publishers that does a lot of sort of like beautiful, gifty, big kind of, they're not art books necessarily always, but like sort of big coffee table books. And this one is no different. Of course, our Lord and Savior, Dolly Parton. This is a look behind, there's stories behind every single song she ever wrote. So, of course, my favorite Dolly Parton story is that she wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You on the same day, which I find to be the utmost impressive. But also, if you listen to the lyrics of I Will Always Love You, it's her goodbye to Porter Wagoner when she left his show, and it is actually brutal. If you really listen to the lyrics, it's
Okay, now I want to Google them.
yeah, it's a great like breakup song that's low key like, but please stop. Like we're done. It's done. Um Anyway, it's a delightful book if you have people in your life, and who doesn't have people in their life that love Dolly Parton. This is a great gifty book. It's also part of a series, so maybe Dolly Parton's not your thing. But there's all these other ones: Elton John, David Bowie, Bob Dylan, The Stones, Queen, Pink Floyd, The Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and Fleetwood Mac is coming in the springtime, which, if any band deserves a stories behind all the songs, it's Fleetwood Mac.
That could be multiple books.
I know. But so anyway, this one's and you can see some of the interior images. It's really beautiful. It's beautifully designed, and sort of takes you behind the albums and then all the songs and sort of when they were made, when they came out, and what's the story behind them, why they were written. So Dolly Parton's All the Songs is my first one.
I love it. And that's the thing. I mean, I grew up with Dolly Parton, so that was, so I'm of that era. And there was a time period where it's like, it wasn't cool to like Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was sort of like, but she has withstood the test of time and it's just like, and just has just persevered and it become this icon, which I just love because she's always been this good person, and so that's what's so cool about her.
Yeah, I feel like when I was a kid, she was kind of like joked about a lot on like
That's
late
right.
night and stuff like that. And I remember like I got into her in college. I sort of got into old country music in college, and thinking like these songs slap. Like these are great.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know
I
what
just read the lyrics. So I'll always love you. Yeah,
yeah, it's
when you really look at those, it's like
sort of
okay,
brutal. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, and so was it Beth that read?
The
Yeah,
most.
Beth read the most.
Yeah. I'm
It's
so glad
on my
you liked it, Beth.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's always been on my list, so I've actually put it on my iPad to take with me on my trip because I think it's going to be the perfect
Oh,
way
it's
to
going to actually happen. It will happen, I'm sure now,
I think
right?
it's an airplane book. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a good airplane book.
You could probably read it in the flight.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm thinking.
it's a quick, it's a like one sitting read.
Yeah. And I saw that Seth picked it as his book club book.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I know, I love that. So that's pretty cool. All right, Tom, what are you
Well,
going to talk about today?
Julia reminded me of one of my favorite books, which was of the year, which was The Work of Art, which I talked about earlier in the year. But what he's missing maybe in the next volume, oh, excellent, Amanda. It's fantastic, right? Is the day. I want a deep dive into that day when Dolly wrote those two songs.
I feel like there's a third too. I think there's a third song she wrote at the same
So
time.
this he looks at like individual works of art, pieces of art, but that day requires like two different, deep dives into the archives of Dolly to tell us more. We need to know. But my actual book for today is a book that's been out for a little while. It's called The Inner Clock. It's a hardcover. Came out in September, and Lynn Peoples is a science journalist who is writing about like this. The subtitle is "Living in Sync with Our Circadian Rhythm." So the entry point for a lot of us to this book is sleep. how do we sleep better? How do we understand our body's rhythms better? And so she's looking at the latest science into this. There's a lot of research going on, and this is all the latest thing. So it's both a science book that you can is very much, is very readable and you understand the science, and she goes to a lot of interesting places, but also it's prescriptive too, because you get some ideas on what you might be able to do for sleep, which is really everybody's problem. I don't know many people who don't have some issue with sleep. But one of the things that the most remarkable thing she did is there's a chapter when she went into a Cold War era bunker. So she's below the ground. She has no, her body doesn't see the sun. So she's there for like 23 days or something. And the changes in her body and her schedule are, and her lack of, and she doesn't understand, like she doesn't know what day it is or time it is. It's really interesting. And that's part of the revealing part about what we need, what our bodies need in order to function correctly. So, I think this book is going to be, it came out in September, got some really good reviews, but I think it's just going to keep going into next year. She'll be on Fresh Air, January 2nd. So it's probably one of those books that people.
Uh-oh. Ah, Tom froze. All right, we'll have to tell him. Oh no, there you are. You're back. You froze for a minute.
Oh, I did. Okay, am I back?
You're back.
Yes.
But you said
I'm
it's going to
frozen
be one of
again.
those books that, and
Oh
that's when we
dear.
lost you.
Dot, dot, dot.
Dot, dot, dot. Oh, he's freezing again.
Oh no.
Well, we're going to move on from
You hear
Tom.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You want to log out and come back in?
Oh God.
Are you there? Can you hear us?
Meow.
Yeah. All right. Amanda, why don't you go and I'll talk to Tom on the side.
Um, I am going to talk about the work of art again, because it's this. We still have a few copies, as far as I can see, in the system. So at Warwick's, I'll just say, if you need a gift for someone and you don't know what to get them, this can be a gift for pretty much anyone. It is a deep dive into creativity. It's a book you can have sitting out on your coffee table and dive into, you can drop into it at any point. Um, the author, Adam Moss, is an award-winning magazine editor. He was the editor of New York Magazine, the New York Times Magazine, and he's in the Magazine Editors Hall of Fame. So the essays in here are just outstanding. And the works of art in here are of all kinds, including painting, writing, Will Schwartz's crossword making. Um, let's see, I think the Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat book is in here. Um, you'll see really famous uh, examples of newspaper front pages, like the New York Times. It's an amazing book. The author said he was originally thinking about calling it just editing, because it's not just an examination of creativity. It's not just the divine muse that some people seem to be possessed by. It's the whole process. And it's the way you second guess yourself and backtrack and start over. And it's a very inspiring, heartening book for anyone who wants to be a maker. So that's the work of art. How something comes from nothing.
I love it. Did you talk about that at Rep Night, Tom? Oh my God, did
Am
Tom
I
freeze
here
again?
or am I not here?
Well, you're kind of freezing back and forth, but
Um,
you're here now. You're here now. Did you talk about that on Rep Night?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Can you hear us?
But I can hear you. What was the question?
Can you hear us now? Can you hear me
Yeah.
now? Okay.
Yes.
Did you talk about the book of art or the work of art at Rep Night? Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that. I was just gonna say, if I'll talk until you tell me I'm gone. He's continuing to do this thing that he does in New York Magazine with like in the magazine. So he just did Jonathan Franzen's The Corrections, which is fascinating. The whole deep dive into how that came, all the stops and starts and that led to the corrections.
He needs to do Fleetwood Mac,
Did I get
Julia.
that out?
Yes, you did.
Rumors.
Rumors. He needs to do
Yeah.
the Rumors album for
I
sure.
I could read an encyclopedia of just the Rumors album, everything about it.
For sure. For
Truly.
sure. Yep. All right. What books do you have next?
Okay, mine's not a book, so I was also thinking about gifty ideas
Okay.
for people because I figured, it is sort of crunch time for some people. So I wanted to highlight this book lovers box. So, and I know Warwick's has a few boxes of this. So this is coming to us from Workman, which does a lot of our, again, like coffee table books, beautiful design stuff. So I sometimes have people that I don't know who, I don't know what kind of book to get them. But this has a bunch of different sort of book adjacent things. So bookmarks, notebooks, book plates, note cards, and they're all sort of book themed. So it's kind of fun. It's $35 and it's pretty big. I have it here next to me here. I'll show you. This like
Oh,
kind of chunky. And it's got like what's really cool so is you've got this oops, and then it like opens up to the next page or like slot. So it's a cool box to have too, even if you use the stuff in it. But I figured if people don't have like a book to buy for someone, but know they like books, that's kind of a good book adjacent gift. Like coworkers or whatever, like people where you're like, I don't know
yeah.
what they
I
like.
don't know. No,
Yeah,
that thing's
exactly. I feel
awesome. I
like,
love the book journal's great, and who doesn't need more bookmarks?
yeah. So, I mean, I don't, but most regular people do need more bookmarks.
I swear to
Um,
God, it's when you're looking for a bookmark,
you can't
I
find
I
it.
end up I end up putting like a piece of
Yeah,
paper in.
you always need more.
I
Uh,
know. I don't mean to out myself, but I dog ear everything.
You're never borrowing one of my books ever.
Never. I would never. Anyway, but I thought just a nice fun gift idea for people if you have people that you don't really know exactly what to get them. This might be a nice little not super expensive gift for them.
No, that's
I
a great gift. And it's a good one for like if you're doing a book club like gift, like where you like do that round robin thing.
Yeah, totally.
I just want to mention I can't link to our page for that item presently, but Julia, you said we have them in store,
I
so
think yeah, I know you ordered them.
it's because
So
it's a
hopefully
there's a weird quirk about our website with some certain journals and paper goods. So give us a call at the store and we'll see if we can find it for you.
yeah,
Yep,
I love Workman. They do such cool stuff
they
and the
really
price
do.
points are always so good.
Yep, they do a good job. They do a really
yeah,
good job.
I agree.
All right, Tom.
Did I try again? So
Yes.
did you hear me say that she lived in a bunker for like 20 some days?
Oh, we heard everything.
Oh, okay.
We heard everything up until the very end when you said something about you think next year it's going to be
Oh,
like,
yeah. When she's on Fresh Air,
yeah,
January 2nd.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we heard the whole spiel. It's fascinating because it's one of those things where it's just like, well, yeah, our bodies are supposed to be out in the sun,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps. It helps the rhythms.
So when I'm at
So
my house and not leaving my house, that's not a good thing.
not a good thing, Julie. Get out, get some sun. Um, so in paperback, out last week, I think, is Louise Kennedy's collection of stories. So we all know how much we love Louise Kennedy on Tea Time. This was the collection before Trespasses. This was published in the UK first, won many awards there. Really set the stage for Trespasses. We reversed that here in the States. We published Trespasses
Mm.
first, got all the acclaim, and then we published the collection of short stories. But no matter where you start with Louise Kennedy, just start because she's amazing. And recent interviews I've read with her, she's hard at work on a novel. It comes out of one of the stories in The End of the World is a Cul-de-sac, so that's exciting. So takes a character from one of the stories and is telling the full story. Um, and of course, not unlike Trespasses, this is not set just during the Troubles. This is set throughout, modern Northern Ireland, but it cannot help but be influenced by the Troubles that was the subject of Trespasses. So, great collection of stories now out in paper. The End of the World is a Cul-de-sac.
She's such a good writer.
Yeah,
I love her
cannot
work.
wait until well, and having grown up in Northern Ireland, she it just in her bones. Like this story is there. The story of Northern Ireland and Ireland is there in everything she does.
Yeah.
Uh, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Trespasses was so good. If you haven't read Trespasses yet, read Trespasses
read
too.
Trespasses. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if anyone hasn't watched Say Nothing, first read Say Nothing, but then watch Say Nothing.
I was afraid to say anything about it because it's not your book, but I was just like I was going to say that because it's like, oh my. Two things. I think you need to read Say Nothing first before you watch it.
I think so too, although it will, if you watch it, it should spur you on to read it. So either way,
Correct. Either way is good, but I think that he is so good because I've watched some things that he's done where he's like done a drama or like a reading over the
oh,
show.
I've heard that. I heard that he's done that. I haven't
It's
watched that.
so good because like you miss a lot of the like what's really happening. Like he really builds the scenes and stuff. So he's an amazing writer, but
Right. And they had to, in order to keep it in 9 episodes, they had to
distill it.
distill it down. But I could have watched 18 episodes, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah. No, he is so yeah, Say Nothing is definitely.
Yeah, definitely read Say Nothing.
Yep. All right, Amanda, what you got?
Um, so I'm talking about books I haven't talked about before because it is crunch time. But because we have these amazing reps who tell us about all the amazing books, Warwick's has the goods, but you have to hurry. Act now. So we still have some copies of The Universe in Verse. And this is a book Julia talked about. And it is such a beautiful little gift. Whereas the work of art, yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. The work of art is a big chunkaroo for someone, you want to impress or you really like. This is also a book for someone you really like, but so as not to scare them away with how much you like them with the size of the book. But the content of this book makes it such a banger. So it's these very short essays about science and nature, and they're paired with beautiful poetry from poets like Dickinson, Adrienne Rich, Maya Angelou, Sylvia Plath, and it's got beautiful art. And it's only $22. So, um, seriously, if you know anyone who loves nature and loves beautiful writing and loves beautiful art about these things, I'll just read I always forget what the name of it's not the dedication, but there's the quotation in the beginning of the book.
There is a term for it, but I don't know what
There's a
that term
specific
is.
word and I always forget it.
Me too.
Epigraph?
Yeah, I think
Um,
so.
Science describes accurately from outside. Poetry describes accurately from inside. Science explicates. Poetry implicates. Both celebrate what they describe. Ursula Le Guin, the Queen. So yeah, awesome gift book, The Universe in Verse by Maria Popova. Popova.
Is it a hardcover book, Amanda? Do you know?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little hardcover.
It's
Okay.
paper overboard.
Paper
Six by
overboard. Okay.
six by eight.
Oh, nice. Okay, nice gift book. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, very nice. All right, we're into the lightning round. Julia, what you got?
Okay, so I have, unsurprisingly, a cookbook called The Vegetable Eater, the playbook for cooking vegetarian, the new playbook for cooking vegetarian by Cara Mangini. And so I am a vegetarian or a pescatarian, but I eat mostly vegetarian. And this is a great book if you're trying to eat vegetables better, more. Or if you don't like, if you're trying to like learn how to cook, um, kind of whatever. Or if you're like me and you're always trying to find new ways to cook vegetables, it's just a great book. It really breaks down how to deal with vegetables. So like there's whole like little chunks that are like, okay, this is how you break down a squash when you're gonna roast squash. This is how you cut it up. This is how you peel it. This is how you do those things. And then it's got recipes, a lot of which are usually made with meat, where she gives you suggestions on how to make them with vegetables.
Hmm.
It's a really like straightforward book. Um, Really good. It's one that kind of was not really on my radar when it first came out, and then um, it got actually Deborah from Diesel slash Camino. She is a huge fan of this book, and she really got me to look at it again. And it is a stunningly good cookbook. So
And she would
so
know.
yeah, so The Vegetable Eater might be a great gift for someone as
I
well.
love it. You mean you don't
Yeah.
just put broccoli in a steamer like we do?
No, season it, roast it.
It's
So
really
it talks
good.
about how to slice stuff up and everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
it gives
I spent so much time thinking about that, and there was a whole thing in the New York Times recently about someone scientifically investigated the best way to slice up an onion or to dice an onion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a whole page article too, and I was like, yeah, like yeah, I've probably spent hours of my life like fretting about if I'm cutting vegetables correctly, so that's very attractive.
yeah,
No
that's
kidding.
good.
But the whole cutting of an onion, I mean, that is definitely an art.
And different ways for different things you're cooking.
Interesting.
Mm.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
All right, Tom.
Okay, so also out in paperback for the holidays, stocking stuffer, Tana French's The Hunter. So this is the sequel to The Searcher. Um, she takes us back to Cal Hooper, the retired Chicago cop. Trey, the young person that he has befriended, who's has a very like kind of tragic family life. And this whole town of Ardna Kelty just comes to life with the language, the dialogue. I mean, I kind of want to see a play. Like this could be turned into a play, like because the dialogue is so fantastic, the characters are so rich.
Oh, so good.
And it's like there's someone who comes to town promising like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow in a certain way, and tragedy ensues and comedy also. She's just a master of the thriller, of the novel. So if you waited till paperback, it's time to get The Hunter. And I think there's a third one
Hmm.
in the works, eventually. And I can't wait for that. But the reviews they're always incredible for Tana French. Washington Post calls it an extraordinary sequel. In The Hunter, French violates more than her share of hallowed rules about writing in general, and suspense writing in particular. By now, any reader who still thinks French should follow the rules doesn't deserve her remarkable novels.
I love that.
A great quote. And Julie's good friend, now good friend, Tana French, as I recall from earlier in a highlight of 2024, right?
Highlight of this year, a guy who had the honor of being asked to do the
Right.
interview for her for that book, which was quite the honor. I mean, when you think about it, it's like, really? Me?
Yeah, really, you, Julie. Viking looked around and they said the only person that could do this is Julie.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, no, it was really good. And she is just, I mean, she's a wonderful person to interview because she just gives up all, was very easy. So she was
Right,
wonderful. And the book is really good. And you don't have to have read The Searcher to read this.
right.
So that's another thing to keep in mind that she does keep it where it's just like she teases some things that if you want to know, you could go back and read it, but it doesn't spoil it.
Right, and that's true of all of her books. All of the other books are well, many of them, not all of them, are the Dublin Murder Squad, but you do not have to read those books in order. Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's fascinating that she did the Dublin Murder Squad first, so deep dive into that. and now she's in rural Ireland, and I think that's where she's going to stay now.
Yeah. And like you said, the dialogue in the bar is some of the
Yeah.
best. I mean, it's
That's why I
awesome.
could really see it as a play, as a
For
play.
sure. Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, I asked her, I said, is that part of the fun? She said, oh yeah, the dialogue, writing the dialogue is
Yeah,
super fun for her.
yeah.
And so that is something that's really
No,
cool.
your interview was fantastic. I had already read the book by then, and we really enriched everything about it. So
Well, thank you, sir.
well done.
Thank you. All right. Okay, Amanda, bring us home, even though Tom wanted to.
It better be good, Amanda.
Better be good,
Oh,
Amanda.
well, again, I'm retreading ground that has already been trodden by our reps, so it's good. But this is from Patricia. This is the artist's palette.
Oh, that one, so good.
This is this book
That's
is awesome.
incredible.
Yeah, it's so for anyone who you know who might dabble in painting or is just interested in process of art and enjoys visual deep dives into things. This book looks at the palettes of famous artists and their pieces. So it'll show you the palette for certain pieces of art. They also have these visual representations of the proportions of the colors in each piece,
Mhm.
if you can see that. Uh, yeah, I really there's not really I don't have to say much about it. It's awesome if you know anyone who loves art and you want a no-brainer gift that'll just make them gasp because this book is rad.
Oh yeah. When she first talked about that book, it was just like, what a brilliant idea.
It's so good. And again, it's like the work of art. It it makes you feel closer. It makes artists more down to earth and makes you realize that we're all, I mean, we can all be artists and we all have to make our own way and find our path when it comes to creation. And it has really nice end papers. Y'all know how much I like end papers.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just a good looking gift. The Artist Palette by Alexandra Lusk.
That's beautiful.
Okay,
I
Beth,
was
you said it's on your Christmas list, Beth. Hopefully somebody is buying that for you. Hint, hint. Or buy do a little me shopping.
I was up in San Francisco this weekend to visit my mom, and we were in City Lights bookstore, and I finally saw that for the first time it was on display, and oh my God. Like,
Okay.
but when Patricia talks about a book, I feel like it's hard to not want to like dive into whatever she's talking about. She's so good. But my God, that book is stunning. And I was like showing it to my mom who like I think nearly bought it for herself. Um, she but it is I can't say enough good things about that one. It is really truly a beautiful and beautifully put together book.
Right. No, when
Yeah,
she talked about it the first time, Julia, I was like, first of all, mind blown. It's like, how did this not get thought of earlier?
exactly. It's such a
Right?
good.
Yeah. And it is to your point, Amanda, it's like breaking down art into this person was just like, these were just colors on a palette, and that became that. Yeah,
It's
crazy.
wild.
And I feel like maybe 20 years ago there was like a book of artists' studios or like a photo book. I it was a while ago. And I felt the same or I felt similarly, but this is like feels almost even more intimate because
Yeah,
it's like what they are actually working off of, not
right.
just like the sort of mess that surrounds them. And so many of the studios were like
Just
absolutely
pigsties.
messy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just
exactly.
sties. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah. But like there's
It's
some
like what's behind the Zoom screens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's
oh
behind
yeah.
here? Yeah, don't look. Don't
I'll
look
try to
right
take up
there.
as much of this Zoom screen as possible.
Exactly.
Pay no attention to the bookseller
Pay
behind.
no attention. Don't look over there.
To
All
the
right,
pile of
everybody.
boxes.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully we gave you some good recommendations for some good gift things or some me gifts. Now's the time.
Yeah, me
That's
gifts are
why
important too.
gifts are important. Okay, that's why when I used to go to like the malls and shop, it was really dangerous because I am a total impulse shopper. And if I see something, it's like, oh, I want that. So there was a lot of one for you, one for me that went on.
Well, isn't the phone just as dangerous?
Yeah, but I don't have the same kind of, it's
Oh, that's
very
good.
interesting.
That's
It's
healthy.
very interesting because I don't like, sometimes I'll buy stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm just ordering that for somebody,
Yeah.
you know. It's when I see stuff that's like in person. It's like, oh,
That's why independent bookstores are the best places to be this time of year. You see
right?
those
You
things.
see it, you see it, you want it. Um, okay, so next week I'm for sure not going to be here. Amanda's going to send an email out to our reps to see if anybody's willing to come in on the 23rd.
We'll try.
If not, we may be skipping the 23rd. So she'll let everybody know via the newsletter. And if you happen to show up and nobody's there at like 5 after, means we're not there. So, and yes, the online events, Carla, I love the online events. I love doing them. We have a few more set up for next year.
I just saw you're doing Red Dog Farm.
Yes, I'm so excited about that.
Oh, I was so thrilled to see that. I think
I
that's going to
know.
be a great online event for you
I
guys.
think so too. And so, I mean, if he can't get out here, because I wanted to host it in person, but if he can't get out here, he wrote Sven, what was the
The
Sven book?
Memoirs of Stockholm Sven.
The Memoirs of Stockholm Sven, which we loved at Warwick's. I mean, we loved that book. And so Julia Kelly just contacted me. She writes, English contemporary books, and so she wants to do one. So we've got some set up for next year. I love doing them. I still think they're fun, and I still think it's a good thing. So, anywho, so I won't see you. Have a great holiday. I will be back before the new year. And yeah, go buy some books. Get some gift giving done. They're the
Yes.
easiest things to wrap.
And if we don't
Yes.
see
Oh,
you all, thank you for being here with us and
Yeah.
listening to us
Happy
do these kinds of
holidays.
things.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to another year.
I know. Hey, we're up until June of 2025, June 30th, maybe.
This
All
is
right.
what gives me hope for 2025 right here. There's a lot of things that don't, but this does.
We're gonna stay normal here. All
Mhm.
right. Okay, everybody.
All right.
as normal as
Bye.
book people can be.
Yeah, right.
I used to think I was normal till I was in this world, so it's just like
Keep tea time weird. I think we should.
hey, there you go, like Lucadia. Keep Lucadia weird. There you go. All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, let's see what I've done here. There we go.